Okay, gotta catch up with Gina now because I haven't yet checked this one out, and this is actually pretty cool because it's Gina featuring Yuna. They're friends, and they're a really fun pair, right? Like they're always joke around, and they do a lot of silly videos and stuff together on TikTok, and it's pretty entertaining. So this was the last single to drop, and it seems to be the title's a bit of a pun or a play on words here, because it spells imperfect, but we got these punctuations here to make it like I am perfect, right? So it might be a little bit of twisting the concepts there a little bit, but let's just check it out and see what they were up to here.
Yeah, that's how I describe perfectly imperfect. I don't think that rhymes. This song is advice. I'm jumping so high, I'm trying to get by. I don't see the light. When I get the supply, I'm gonna apply. I'm married to die. Wait, pass me that ride. I feel like the night, but sometimes I might just go down the line. I'm driving so fast, I'm driving my mind into the skies. Yeah, we all need that bank, so we always say thanks, forgetting to blink when we start to think. Yeah, the harder I look, the miracles crook. I make up a call, I'm going to Mars to see my girl Brooke with some hope that she's good. Stay close with that guy, cause that will be my hook, and she fixing my looks. I'm feeling like I'm exhausted, redesigning. I got it like this, I'm thinking, convincing. If I'm perfect, I think I'm worth it. But I hate this, I'm perfect, I'm growing.
Feeling insecure, and a bit unsure, though I never did before. Taking a detour, still a bit unsure, though I never felt this before. Feels like a chore, yeah. Lock up the door, hasta que yo sé, no puedo esconder. Vuelve nadie que pueda entender.
I'm exhausted, redesigning. I got it like this, I'm thinking, convincing. If I'm perfect, I think I'm worth it. But I hate this, I'm perfect, I'm growing. It affects my mood, now I'm feeling good, don't even need Brooke. Hop in the fence, yeah, it's not a Benz, that I'm out of breath. Woo, woo, I'm catching my breath, I'm finding my pace, I used to feel bent. Perfectly imperfect, that's how we're made, let's hope I don't fade. I'm exhausted, redesigning. I got it like this, I'm thinking, convincing. I'm imperfect, no I'm worth it. Started like this, imperfect, I'm growing. I'm feeling glad, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm feeling glad, yeah, yeah, yeah. You sat at my throne, you must be stoned. Then you gave me that tone. Imperfect, the perfect, the one you're worth it. Now you fix with the bond. Persistent up high, my name is Javon, and you kind of broad. 009, I'm taking that pride, I do better at night. They know how to lie. Perfectly imperfect, and it still doesn't rhyme.
Very cool, man. Very cool. Oh, yeah, I remember she made a post, and I think she was doing some sort of challenge dance, right, video. And the comment on it, what she said was like, I need to work on my dance because I've been slacking a little bit. But she was doing all the other things, right, like the other music video shoots and things like that. So, but it seems as though she did, decide to, okay, we're gonna get back into the choreography and things, and it's fun because this is like, it's all the elements, in other words, right? It's got the vocals, it's got rap, it's got the choreography. So it's pulling from that, that K-pop and pop type of, the all the elements, right, that go into it. And the stuff that they worked on and learned like during the A2K process and stuff that, she spent a lot of time training on. And so it's cool to see her using it all, you know what I mean? Like that's very fun. It's cool. It's a very cool track. It's, again, a completely different sound, right? Because the first singles, they were very different, right? Like one of them was sort of a pop, a little bit of like a EDM sound. I mean, some synth work in there, but a basic pop structure, in other words, underlying it, right? And then there was a very rock heavy type of sound, right? Like it was legitimately a rock band type of arrangement with the vocal work. And now this is yet another change up to a rap style with trap rhythms going on underneath it, right? Some trap beats. I liked the change up. It like the way the song begins, it's kind of a very light trap beat, and then as it moves right towards the next section, it picks it up, right? You notice the change in the hi-hat work, like it becomes a lot busier, right? And it's a nice little dynamic change up, right? Because it keeps its groove, but it is a variation on the feel of it as well, which it starts to make it feel like busier. You know what I mean? Like it sort of intensifies with more complex rhythms being used in the percussion, and it's interesting because this is almost like it's mostly the rap delivery, right? Like, and I thought like, oh, I wonder if it's all going to be rap, the verses, of course, everything is a rap style, but then she does sing in the hook, in the chorus, right? There's a lot of very familiar elements of a Western rap and R&B and stuff, you know what I mean? Like this reminds me of a lot of that, like late 90s, 2000s. You would have rappers do a song. A lot of times it was like a collaborative thing, so you might get like two or three rappers, and it would be like one main rapper, right, is for the track, and then they would have an R&B vocalist come on and sing a part for a hook, right? So you got a little contrast of the delivery styles and even in that case a lot of the vocal timbre and vocal tone was very, very different, but this is very reminiscent of that kind of track, right? And her rap it's very she's got that, it's a strong, like, deep kind of tone on it, right? The register is like, she sits low in that vocal register, and it's fun though. It's fun. It's like, it's very strong. She kind of turns up the aggression, like as the moving into the last verse, right? So a little bit more, like you see a little bit more attitude, right? A little bit more put into, which is fine. That's a cool thing. That's part of what makes it fun. And it's like it's an interesting delivery. Yuna's verse in there was very cool too, man. That was pretty cute. It's just fun to see them both together again and actually doing like a video like this. Like this is fun, man. This is fun. Yuna got to get in on this entire production thing. Have the video, have some lines and everything. That's very cool. It's very cool. I also like the contrast between the sung chorus or hook section, right? And it's one of the most interesting melodies that I've heard so far. It has that wonderful peak, right, with the Worth It, where she takes it up into that higher range, right? And that's the biggest kind of tonal shift because the rap verses stay fairly consistent as far as like where the pitch range is and everything. And then there's a slight move once the melody becomes a part of in the vocal, in the chorus section. And the way it's structured is it has that high point, right? So it works its way up to that jump, and then, you know, settles back down, and then, you know, onward towards the conclusion of the chorus line. But it's a very cool melody line. It's like it stands out from the previous releases in a very interesting way, and it's because it's being fitted to the style of the song, you know, and that's shows a lot of versatility. It shows a lot of flexibility, and, you know, Gina can do all kinds of, you know what I mean? Like, if you want sort of a pop sound, she can sing a pop sound, and she can rap there's a difference, right? If you look at the Freedom song, there's rap delivery in that, but it's for that type of song. This, having a much more trap-based beat to it, the rhythm on the rap parts also matches that, as well as things like the tone, the timbre, like the general vibe of it, right? And it's noticeable. It's very, very noticeable, which means that she can clearly delineate each one. And if you want rock vocals too, she can do that too. And it's a different feel in all these different stylings. So this is very cool, you know. Again, very impressive, man, because, you know, they're still so young, you know what I mean? She's only 14 now, right? And she's able to come up with all of these different songs, ideas, perform in different styles, complete the music video productions on all of these things, even incorporating choreography into this, which is another aspect. It's another layer to this on top. And so, man, it's very fun. Oh man, it's cool. Like, I'm really happy that, you know, she's putting everything to use, and, you know, she's very hardworking, and that's very good for her. It's one thing for her to be young and talented, but the fact that she will, like, get on the grind and do all of this work and, you know, produce all of this it's very cool, man. It's very good. It makes a strong case for not only a successful career, but the longevity of it too, right? Like, if she always has this approach to doing the work, it's going to pay off in the long run. You know what I mean? Like, it's definitely going to pay off. Okay, so let's see.
Yeah.
The bass is very cool. Like, it's very edgy. It doesn't have quite that very round quality to it. Like, you know, a lot of if you're listening to a lot of the K-pop music, right, when they incorporate the 808 bass and things, and they sort of partner it up with a kick, and the way that type of beat is structured, the bass has a very round type of quality to it, and it, you know, matching it up with a kick, sitting it in the pocket, right, like lining it up so the pocket of the bass drum hit and the center of the actual bass tone are lined up together. It gives it this very round sound. This bass has, like, more edge to it, right? So it's a little bit more like squashed, I guess you could say, but it has this wonderful horizontal type of body to it, right? And it feels very cool. Like, it's very, very different, right, from a lot of the bass that I'm very accustomed to hearing now. But we got some synth sounds too. There was a little, I'm not sure, it's like maybe synth horns, but it's like that little chirp in the beginning that's like wah, 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 wah. And then, of course, this arpeggio that's playing, this sort of synth keys that are filling out the rhythm section. But you got some bass, you got some synth in the rhythms, and some synth accents as well. And okay, so then in with the vocal.
Yeah, that's how I describe perfectly imperfect. I don't think that rhymes. This song is advice. I'm jumping so high, I'm trying to get by. I don't see the light When I get the supply, I'm gonna apply. I'm married to die, wait, pass me that ride. I feel like the night, but sometimes I might just go down the line.
So a lot of triplet rhythms being used in the rap verses, these bars, right? Groups of like, you know, it'd probably be like a 16th note tied to 8th note triplet groupings, and this is it's a very familiar sound, you know what I mean? It's in a lot of like Western rap music specifically, which this is the fundamental like structure here. A nice tonal shift even in this first verse, right? Because the intro was very quick too. Like it wasn't like a drawn out thing, and then as soon as the vocal comes in the same time as the percussion, right? And again, that trap beat is being kept a little bit light here, right? And actually the more complex rhythm pattern is in Gina's rap lines here. But there was a really great tonal shift, and I think it matches, let me see.
I'm jumping so high, I'm trying to get by. I don't see the light. When I get the supply, I'm gonna apply. I'm married to die, wait, pass me that ride. I feel like the night, but sometimes I might just go down the line. I'm driving so fast, I'm driving my mind into the sky.
Some of those lines had some, maybe it's like the scratch vocal tracks, and it's probably her that she's done the sort of scratch vocal dubbing on some of these rap lines. In a lot of cases with rap music, you'll have the main line that's done, and some of your the beginnings or the endings, and some specific parts, they'll have a doubled vocal on it to make sure that the pronunciations are very distinct, you know. And what's cool about this is that there are some lines in here that are doubled, right? And there's a little bit of a production tweak to it. So like it has reverb on it, a specifically different type of reverb. And I think what she's doing is slightly like singing a bit, like sort of sing rapping, right? Because there's more of a noticeable like melodic element to these doubled vocal lines that are underneath the main line. And it's an interesting way to like kind of expand on what's going on in the vocal here, and it kind of bridges the space between the vocal and the rhythm, because it's a little bit lighter in its pitch. It's actually really sweet sounding. Like oddly enough, there's something very sweet sounding about it, and it just sort of rides the edge of the track itself in an interesting way.
Yeah, we all need a bank, so we always say thanks, forgetting to blink when we start to think. Yeah, the harder I look, the miracles crook. I make up a call, I'm going to Mars to see my girl Brooke with some hope that she's good. Stay close with that guy, cause that will be my hook, and she fix up my looks. So feeling like.
So that, again, that beat now shifted and became a little bit more intense, right? Like there's more hits on the hat and a little bit more power behind it. And at the same time, Gina changes up the rhythms in the beginning of this verse, and there seems to be more projection now, like behind the vocal, right? Like it's very much being sort of put out there, right? Like it was a bit more of a laid back delivery in the beginning, you know. She kind of like starts to gradually increase the intensity of it from the verse start all the way to its end. It almost feels like 3 different verses, or if you were thinking relating it in terms of like a K-pop song, the 3 different line distributions from one member to the next, right? There's a noticeable shift, if not in tone, then in rhythm or in the dynamic level, and it really starts to play on the feel of each of these lines, right? Moving through just one verse section.
I'm exhausted, redesigning. I got it like this, I'm thinking, convincing. If I'm perfect, I think I'm worth it. But I hate this, I'm perfect, I'm growing.
wonderful vocal tone from Gina. She's got a great voice, man, for singing. The chorus section starts to fill out a bit more, and one of the things that does it is at the beginning of these of these chorus phrases, right? There's a little bit of a pattern in the bass voice, right? It's a little step up and step down, and it's a quick, like 3 beats kind of grouped together. But every time that comes around, it denotes the beginning of like a phrase, right? A phrase line for what the chorus section is. And of course, having that leap, right? And the worth it part, which I guess, like a higher pitch value, right? So on the words worth it, it's like, in other words, the value is higher. You know what I mean? Like it's a pretty cool, it's a pretty clever idea too, and to express it that way using the actual melody line, right? The structure of the melody line. I think that's pretty cool. I'm not sure if that's exactly what she was going for, but it's my interpretation of the line at any rate.
Perfect, I'm growing.
Feeling insecure and a bit unsure, though I never did before. Taking a detour, still a bit unsure, though I never felt this before. Feels like a chore, yeah. Lock up the door, hasta que yo sé, no puedo esconder. Vuelve nadie que pueda entender.
Oh man, it's very cute, man. That was cool. That was cool. It's because and Yuna has her own. Like it sounds distinct, you know what I mean? Like she's following, I guess, rhythmically a similar pattern, right? Like a lot of these triplet groupings, these groupings of like 3 sort of beats together, and then she changes up the language even, and starts to incorporate some Spanish lines in there towards the end of that verse that she's got, right? And but it's very cool. I actually think she has like a really good voice for this. I don't remember hearing too much during the A2K series, and of course that's got like a very different feel than this, but it actually works really well. And of course, using the language change too, because there are many artists that are, like Latino or Latina, and they use the Spanish language in their music, and it like, in other words, that's out there, like that's already like a pretty much an established thing, but her own voice itself it works really well for it, and she's not bad either at delivering the line. Like it's pretty good, man. I think she should do some more. She's featuring on Gina's track here, right? But hopefully I would hope she gets to do some more, because I think that she's got a definite talent there that is, now I'm really seeing it for the first time in this video and in this song, right? But it's not bad. I hope she does some more. But it was very cool.
I'm exhausted, redesigning. I got it like this, I'm thinking, convincing. If I'm perfect, I think I'm worth it. But I hate this, I'm perfect, I'm growing.
So song break, and then like some really strong sort of like sounds added in there. So it sounded like shots or something, right? But that pop, 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 pop. And it is a rhythmic pattern in and of itself, but it kind of brings the main beat of the song back in. And what was I going to say? Oh, yes, there's a very noticeable like piano sound now. I'm not sure. Maybe I was picking up synth keys before, in other words. like in the beginning doing the arpeggio. So a keyboard, but using like some sort of synthesized sample or a plug-in rather instrument sound. But now after the song break and then coming back in, there's a very distinct piano arrangement that's in here now, and it's similar to the rhythm. It's a development on the rhythms that was used in the beginning that I'm saying is like the synth voice, and the way that it's put in the mix, there's some lighter pitch arpeggios. The right hand, what that's playing, is more to the right. It's panned over here, and then what the left hand is playing is panned over here. So it's a very cool, I mean, like, if you play the piano, then you understand that in terms of like right hand, left hand, and what hand sort of carries the chord progression or what hand plays the melody and everything. And so it's a nice detail, like a subtle sort of aspect of the mix that's in there.
Perfect, I'm growing. It affects my mood. Now I'm feeling good, don't even need Brooke. Hop in the fence. Yeah, it's not a Benz that I'm out of breath. Woo, woo, I'm catching my breath, I'm finding my pace. I used to feel bent. Perfectly imperfect, that's how we're made. Let's hope I don't.
So the little descending, like sort of trilly line on the piano, right? This sweeping the keys, right? It's just a cool thing, and there's a little piano articulations that are in here. Although the part that's panned between the left and the right is doing something similar to what I was talking about, the bass pattern in the chorus section, right? Like you kind of know when the next phrase comes around, because you'll hear that the little lighter pitched right hand grouping, right? That's kind of the beginning, and then when the second half of that phrase, you'll hear some of the chords on the left side.
Fade. I'm exhausted, redesigning. I gotta like this, I'm thinking, convincing. I'm imperfect, no I'm worth it. Starting like this, imperfect, I'm growing.
And I was hoping that Yuna would, get in on the choreography too, because I was like, Gina kind of starts going off here, and you notice that there was a little bit of a stronger delivery, right, on this the last verse here. It was real, like, she starts like leaning into it a little bit more, and it gives it a little bit more grit, and it's fun. And then when she started dancing, I was like, oh, I hope Yuna gets in there and starts dancing too.
I'm feeling I'm feeling You sat at my throne, you must be stoned. Then you gave me that tone. Imperfect, the perfect, the one you're worth it. Now you fix with the bond. Persistent up high, my name is Javon, a new kind of broad. 009, I'm taking the pride, I do better at night. They know how to lie. Perfectly imperfect, and it still doesn't rhyme.
Oh man, it's very cool, man. It's very cool. I definitely enjoy all the variation that she's able to put into a single song, even across just one single verse. But she even has another sort of rap rhythmic pattern and everything coming in here, kind of like an outro, I guess you could call it. It's way at the end of the song, and really matches up well with the rhythms for the choreography too. But there's all these different feels, man, in this song, like the different vibes. It's staying very, very close to the style and the concept and the song structure, but there's little changes that occur, right? From those three different sort of intensity levels in the first verse. And then Yuna, of course, she provides a completely different type of feel and sound and timbre with her voice. And then Gina's also got the chorus melody that's going on. And then even this last sort of outro verse here, right? There's a lot of subtle, but definitely still noticeable variations that are going on in just Gina's voice alone. I mean, like she's able to really control her vocal delivery to very fine points. And I mean, it's, you know, it stands out to me just because I try to actively listen very, very closely to this. But many good change up, even in the mix, right? Lots of good changes that are going on in the mix. Use of different percussion, use of different sounds and hits, right? Varying up the rhythm section with synth keys and then piano keys, different patterns evolving in the bass part as well. The contrast between a light trap beat and a more intense trap beat. Really it keeps it interesting, right? Like that's probably the most inventive and cool and enjoyable aspects of the song, right? Is that it's very much riding its groove, right? Like the groove is pretty tight and it sticks to it very well, but there's enough variation in there so that nothing ever like stands still for too long, you know, before there's some kind of change up, right, that we get. And it keeps the song very interesting from all throughout. I mean, okay, so about 2.5 minutes. It goes by very quickly because of like all the change ups and everything, but there's definitely a lot going on, and it's cool because it makes it feel like it's longer, right, than 2.5 minutes, because we have all these different sounds and variations on things that are going on throughout the entire song structure. But it's very, very cool, man. It's just fun to see both of them, you know, doing something together, doing a video together, doing a song. It's very cool, man. It's a lot of fun, and I'm very glad that you know they got to both work on this together. I hope they do more. This was fantastic. I loved it. I love everything about it. I would be so happy to see and hear Yuna again on another song. I hope she does, man. I'm like really, I really am looking forward to that, because this is fun. It's like, it's good in and of itself, but if you watch the show and if you know what I mean, like if you went through that whole experience, and so therefore you know like Yuna and Gina, you know who they are and everything, it's even more engaging, you know what I mean? Because it's like, yeah, Yuna's in there, all right. And it is just, that's what makes it like really fun. But I think they did a great job with this track, man. Really, really cool work for sure. You know, and I don't forget about the choreography part too, is that Yuna comes in and she worked on the choreography too. She got the choreo down, and you know, went ahead and performed it for the video. That's good, man. That's good. That's very awesome. I think it's awesome that they had the choreography in there, you know. Just why not? Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're always dancing together doing the dance challenges and everything. And we know they can, because they both learned so much in that A2K experience, you know. So it's really cool to see them use it and, you know, incorporate it into a performance and everything. I think that's, man, it's really cool. It's like, it's really, really awesome just to see it as somebody who enjoyed the show and was really, really rooting for them the entire time. It's very, very cool to see them just both actually get in on a song and a video together. I would love to see more. You know, it would be awesome to have a track where maybe Yuna gets a little bit more lines. Maybe she could feature throughout the verses. You know what I mean? That would be very cool. Even I wouldn't even mind some harmonization on the chorus section. You know what I mean? She could do it. I have no doubt that she could do it. and it would have, for this song, for this style, for this structure and everything, I don't think you need to add anything to it. Like it's very, very well done. There is a little bit of a minimalist aspect to it as well, and this is what I was like. There's a balance between adhering to that, but also keeping it interesting, right? So instead of a layering of many different things on top of each other, it's like, okay, a change up between the sections, and as the song moves along and progresses, right, you get different variations throughout the different parts. So that's keeping a balance, right? Sticking to a rather minimalist structure, but incorporating as much as you can by changing different parts here and there. But for another track, you know what I mean? Like, man, it would be cool. It'd be really, really, really awesome to see and hear Yuna maybe throughout different verses, and then even jumping in on a chorus harmony as well. Like, that would be so much fun, dude. And I hope she's I mean, I know she enjoyed it. Like, I know she had fun doing this, and I'm hoping that it was to the point where she's like, yeah, I want to do that some more. I want to do that again. You know what I mean? Like, let's do that again. Man, I really hope they do. That's going to be a blast, right? For, like, for them to work. Like, oh man. And it's very obvious. I'm like, yeah, I would expect it. You know what I mean? But, it's just like, it's just cool to see. I definitely, was like, yeah, this needs to happen. Like, it's got to happen at least at some point in time. And I hope it was enjoyable and engaging and positive enough so that Yuna wants to, like, get in there and do some more. I think that would be, like, really, really cool, just all around. But Gina continues to evolve her own sound. She shows all this versatility with the different song styles that she approaches, and each one is done very, very well. She's got a fantastic singing voice, and when this is really showing off a lot of the rap style ability, and of course it's very strong. I thought, like, this was really good in terms of rhythm, and even, like I'm saying, subtly controlling things to change up the delivery throughout the song. This is very, very, very good stuff, man. Like, it's very high level stuff, and she can do seemingly just about everything. You know what I mean? So that's very cool. And again, like I was saying, she's so young, but she's got all these, like, mountains and mountains of talent. And as long as she keeps working at it, you know what I mean? Like, dude, it's gonna be nuts. Well, if she keeps this up, then I'm sure it won't be long. It'd probably be within a couple of years where I'll be able to go and see, like, Gina in concert or something like that. Like, I can absolutely see that happening fairly soon too. I mean, yeah, even with just the amount of releases, right? The stuff that she's done so far, if she keeps this going, and, like, if she keeps this drive and this level of industriousness to producing things like this, she will have enough to perform a set, like, either on a tour or, you know what I mean, like, some kind of spot, right? Like, she totally will have that more than enough. So it's very, very cool, man. Very cool. Gina and Yuna with Imperfect, I Am Perfect. Even the titles, like I'm not sure. I think it's imperfect though, right? Like, I think that's what it's supposed to be. But it has this play on it that adds another layer to it. But she just keeps she just keeps doing more, man. She just keeps evolving. She keeps, you know, hitting you with something different. Like, you know, you think she's done. No, she's not done. You think she's like, you know, sort of reached her limits, but no. And I don't even think, I still don't think that's the case. I wouldn't be surprised if the next, you know, single that she releases had a completely different feel from everything so far. Why not? Why wouldn't it? You know what I mean? But yeah, I just think that you will continue to see a tremendous amount of versatility and flexibility and talent from Gina, for sure.